Ngayon po nanadakip na at nakakulong na si Pastor Apollo Quiboloy. Ang kanya po kayang pagkakaaresto ay magbabago sa political landscape dito sa Pilipinas. Huwag na rin po natin pag-usapan kung nahuli or sumurrender si Apollo Quiboloy because immaterial na po yun. Pabayaan na po natin yung mga DDS na sabihin na sumuko daw. Kaya nga sumuko yan dahil naipit na po. Kumbaga sa daga, pag nako-corner, lilitaw at lilitaw. Anyway, meron po akong babasahin na isang article sa inyo galing sa ABC News. Ang title po nito, The Arrest of Apollo Quiboloy of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ Church Changes the Political Landscape of the Philippines. Ito po ay sinulat ni Patrick Martin. At sa pagkakaintindi ko dito sa article, sino po ba si Apollo Quiboloy sa mata ng FBI? So basahin ko po at kayo na ang bahalang humusga kung may katotohanan itong ulat ng ABC News. He claims to be the appointed Son of God and owner of the universe, who also says he stopped an earthquake from hitting the Philippines in 2019. But if you ask the FBI who Apollo Carrion Quiboloy is, it says he is on its most wanted list for a range of serious offenses, including running an alleged sex trafficking operation involving children. Some of his fanatical followers say he is a victim of religious persecution and political harassment. Regardless, the 74-year-old televangelist with links to the political elite in the Philippines is now behind bars, but denies all wrongdoing. So, who is Apollo Quiboloy and what does his arrest mean for politics in the Philippines? How did Apollo Quiboloy gain power and influence? The evangelist preacher said that God first spoke to him in South Korea in 1973, saying, "I will use you." About a decade later, he founded the Kingdom of Jesus Christ Church in the Philippines. Little is known about how he raised the money needed to build his empire, which is centered around a sprawling complex in Davao City. The site includes a cathedral, an unfinished stadium with a capacity of 75,000, and an aircraft hangar with a taxiway connecting it to the city's international airport. The church also uses a media company, Sunshine Media Network International, to help spread his messages. The organization has claimed to have some 6 million followers worldwide in 200 countries. At the peak of his influence, aspiring politicians would fly to Davao City to seek his endorsement. In 2016, the celebrity preacher backed his close friend Rodrigo Duterte for the presidency. Mr. Duterte had been the long-serving mayor of Davao City. Apollo Quiboloy went on to serve as a spiritual advisor to the president. Rodrigo Duterte appeared on his TV and radio programs speaking openly about his police-enforced crackdown on illicit drugs. The killing of thousands of drug suspects under Rodrigo Duterte's administration has been condemned by Western governments and human rights groups. Duterte has denied authorizing the killings but did openly speak about his wish to kill drug dealers. The International Criminal Court's investigation is ongoing. What charges is he facing? Federal prosecutors in the United States charged Apollo Quiboloy in 2021 for allegedly running a forced labor scheme that also involved sexual assault and abuse. The FBI alleges that he and other KOJC officials brought members of the church to the U.S. using fraudulent visas to raise money for a fake charity. Authorities claim the cash raised funded the lavish lifestyles of church leaders. It is alleged those who successfully raised money for the church were forced into staying in the U.S. on fraudulent student visas or by being forced into sham marriages. The FBI also alleges that females were recruited to work as personal assistants or pastorals for Kibuloy, and that victims prepared his meals, cleaned his residences, gave him massages, and were required to have sex with Kibuloy in what the pastorals called night duty. The indictment alleges that one victim was 12 years old. He went into hiding earlier this year after a court in the Philippines ordered his arrest on suspicion of child and sexual abuse. He denies any wrongdoing, with his lawyers saying the raft of allegations were made up by disgruntled former church members who had been removed. How was he caught? Late last month, more than 2,000 police were deployed to the church's complex in Davao City to arrest the pastor, prompting his followers to barricade the main entrance and block officers from entering. Specialist riot police and equipment designed to detect people hiding underground were also sent to the site. His supporters protested daily, proclaiming his innocence and expressing anger at what they saw as police overkill. Police reported violent clashes with protesters, including some officers being injured in the unrest. The standoff lasted more than 2 weeks before a 24-hour ultimatum was issued to Kibuloy to give himself up, or else police would raid a Bible school building where he was believed to be hiding. He and 4 others surrendered to police just before nightfall on Sunday. What are the political ramifications? The handling of the case had been criticized by former President Rodrigo Duterte and his daughter, current Vice President Sara Duterte. The pair used to be allies with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. but have since become rivals, accusing police of rights violation and abuse of power. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. defended the operation to apprehend the preacher, saying the 30-hectare compound justified the significant police presence. Sara Duterte's recent exit from the Marcos Jr. cabinet marked the end of an alliance formed at the 2022 election. She recently said she regretted campaigning for members of the church to vote for Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at the last presidential election. Political science professor at the University of the Philippines, Jean Encinas Franco, said the arrest underscores a significant change. The arrest proves that, without a doubt, the Dutertes are no longer favored by the Marcos administration, Professor Encinas Franco said. It also means that they, the Dutertes, have reason to fear that the Marcos administration may cooperate with the ICC. The ICC is continuing to investigate whether the killings of thousands of drug suspects under the Rodrigo Duterte administration constitutes a crime against humanity. She said the arrest might indicate a broader change in the country's political landscape, where devout religious belief is common among its 110 million citizens. It suggests that religion is no longer a major influence in politics. Social media has enabled politicians to gauge the public pulse on a case-by-case basis and not really just based on religious beliefs. So, what happens next? The pastor, seen by his followers as an untouchable figure capable of supernatural feats, was paraded in front of the media on Monday. A man who became famous for his preaching remained silent. President Marcos Jr., who had sought Quiboloy's endorsement at the 2022 presidential election, said the pastor would not receive a special treatment as a detainee. Despite the situation, some of the preacher's supporters remained defiant. We are stronger than ever before. As followers of Jesus Christ, we expect challenges like this to test and measure our faith in Him, Romulo told Reuters news agency. Everyone who wants to live a godly life in Jesus Christ will be persecuted, she added, quoting a verse from the Bible. The United States is expected to request the extradition of Apollo Quiboloy and his co-accused, but authorities in the Philippines say they must first face justice at home. End of the article. Aba, detalyado, no? Parang Pinoy lang din ang nagsulat kasi parehong-pareho eh. Para sa akin, walang labis, walang kulang itong pagkakasulat ng author. So sa tingin ninyo, mababago nga ba ang political landscape sa Pilipinas sa pagkakadakip kay Apollo Quiboloy? At totoo ba na social media na ang papalit dito sa mga religious groups na to na malakas ang magiging impluwensya sa mga kandidato? Ano na ang susunod para kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy? Hanggang dito na lang po muna tayo. Hanggang sa susunod na mga issues. Maraming salamat po.